And hello again. This, a couple of points that I wanted to discuss. Um, this is a dancer's kilt. It's been brought to me because the young lady has been away from dancing. She'd given up dancing for quite a while. She's taken it up again, but her figure has changed. But this is okay. It's simply a matter, I think, of well, there's a couple of things. I can pretty much achieve just about all of the alteration necessary. I have to shorten it again a little bit and then undo the aprons and refasten them. There's a couple of odd things here because this is a valiant first effort by someone who's not actually a kilt maker. And I'm not going to sneer because the workmanship is tremendous. The sewing is beautifully done. This inner apron's a bit funny. I'm not sure what's happening there, so we're going to correct that. What I find interesting, because this is a lighter cloth. This is like an 11-ounce cloth. And I've had this conversation many, many times with prospective clients. They'll ask for a lightweight cloth rather than the heavy 16-ounce cloth because they have the idea that the lighter cloth is going to be more comfortable in hot weather. I don't believe it to be the case. The advantage of the heavy cloth, I mean, the comfort level is about equal. The primary differences I find between the lightweight and the heavyweight cloth is the heavyweight holds a press beautifully and it doesn't stay wrinkled. The lighter weight cloth doesn't seem to hold a press quite so well, but picks up wrinkles like a hot damn. So we'll have to work that out. So you have to make your choice there. What I find interesting here is that this person named Gloria had done this enormously deep turn back on the bottom. See, there's the selvage edge of the cloth all the way up there. So what's that? That's six. It's got to be 6 inches, 6 or 7 inches. It's 7 inches almost on the dot, which isn't considered good practice for kilt making. Again, I'm going to say I'm not judging. I am judging. The thing is, we are a judgmental species. That's why we came down from the trees. Or that's what helped us come down from the trees. It's how we display our judgment that reveals our civility or otherwise. So this is something I would never do, never ever do. But I wonder if there is a possible advantage here in that by doubling the cloth here, you're creating much more weight at the bottom of the dancer's kilt. And therefore, because this is quite light flyaway stuff, that this added weight helps the kilt drape better, particularly when they're dancing. They're hopping up and down. Highland dancing is very strenuous in that respect. So I wonder if there is perhaps an advantage there. Perhaps not deliberately planned, but an advantage nonetheless. So I'm not going to, and I reviewed the options with her, one of them being completely unpicking this and restoring the selvage to the bottom edge. But that would be quite expensive because many, many hours of work. But I'm not going to do that. I think it'll be shaping the aprons and just sort of figuring out what's going on there and correcting that. What I've learned to be very careful about, extremely concerned about, is working with white cloth. It picks up stains and marks so remarkably easy. So I did a white kilt for a fellow a few years ago for a dinner en blanc, that everyone wears white from head to toe, and I did him a kilt in white, and it drove me hairless because I did a chalk mark with waxed chalk, and I discovered that the chalk wouldn't come out when I ironed it. My heart almost stopped. And then tried the clay chalk, and it was the same thing. I had to scrub it to get the clay chalk out, and that too left a mark. So what I wound up doing was, with every seam, between every seam I would wash my hands again, and I made white sleeves for my forearms, so not to leave a mark on the cloth. So that's going to be my principal concern in working with this, is not making any mark. One thing to do, I would suggest, when you're faced with something like this, find a spot that isn't going to be viewed. Let's say somewhere that's going to be on the inside of the kilt, under the lining, and do a test mark. Or alternately, if you've got the top strip of cloth, such as this, do a test mark with your chalks to see if see if it's going to be a problem or not. that white kilt that I just mentioned, that I'd made for the fellow, I wound up not using any chalk at all. I had to use a piece of, just a loop of back thread, a black thread, a back stitch, everywhere that I'd make a chalk mark. It was pretty labor intensive. So there you go. Just wanted to share that, and I'll get on to this now. Cheers.